Hey everybody, and welcome to this video on inserting text into a Notability file. So let's navigate into Notability, and we will open up a note that happens to be blank. Now there are two main ways to enter text into your Notability file. First things first, you need to be in the text tool up top, so now we're in the text tool. The first way is to simply click once anywhere on the screen. And you can see that I have this cursor now, and we can start typing. And you press enter, you can go to another line. I think pressing tab will, yes, it'll move you over just like the tab key on a computer, and you can type some more. I will say that this method of inserting text can be a bit cumbersome. It becomes difficult to put the text exactly where you want it if there's a specific area where you need to write something. And so the other way that I'm about to show you is the one that I actually endorse far more. And this way is to create a text box. And how do you create a text box? You're still on the text tool from before, but you're going to press and hold your finger somewhere on the screen. So I'm going to press and hold, and it gives you an option. Note, if you have anything copied from before, if you want to copy and paste an image or something like that, this is actually how you would paste it. So just something to keep in mind. But I'm going to add a text box. And so now I've got this text box. If I'd like to move the text box around, I need to press on this little tab on the top. It's really important that I'm accurate with where I press. I can move it around. I can resize it. And of course, we can do our typing here. We can do our typing here. Now, suppose that you want to adjust the font with which you're working. If you look at the bottom of your screen, you can adjust the actual font. There are plenty of fonts here. You can adjust the size of the font. So if I click on this 12, I can choose any one of these font sizes. So maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger. Note that this small a and big A beside the font size, the big A, if I click on that, will make it slightly bigger. So you can be really, really accurate with exactly how large you want it to be. And the small a will, of course, make it smaller. You can change the color of the font. I can press this blue area and you can choose the color. So maybe we'll make it hot pink. You can also choose to make your font bold, italicized, or underlined, or any combination thereof, just like in Microsoft Word. One thing that I really like to do is have a couple of favorites all set so that you can really quickly format your fonts. So if you see these A, B's, and C's in the hearts on the right, those are our favorites. So if you click and hold on A, for instance, it'll say pick a favorite font format. So you say, you know what, I really like it when it's bold, size 12 font, and blue. And then you say, okay, I'm done, and finished. And so if you want, you know, whatever font size or color you're in, if you just press on A, you will be in, you know, favorite font style A. I don't know what my B's and C's are, but you can adjust them in just that way, and whatever B and C, those favorite settings are, you just click on B, and it'll take you right there. You click on C, and it'll take you right there. So if you click anywhere off of this text box, you are no longer selecting it. The way to select it again is simply to click on it once. Now note that when I did that, we got some more options that we didn't quite have before. And the one I want to concentrate on is this paper option. So if I click on paper, just like we used to do with the entire Notability file, here we can maybe put some lines in there, or we can put some grid paper in there, which is really cool. So one thing I really like to do if I'm teaching a math class, granted in my images, if I ever want to insert a graph, I have a pre-made graph, you know, sitting there waiting to put into some files. But if you don't have one of those, you can always quickly make a text box. And one little thing that's interesting, even though I haven't made anything in this text box, I haven't written anything, I'm going to click elsewhere, so it's not selected, and you may think that it's gone, but it's not. If I press anywhere where that text box used to be, it shows up again. But look, you can quickly put in some graph paper, and now maybe you want to draw a graph, and you've got the graph paper on which to do it. One other thing that people like to use, which I don't like to very much, but be my guest, is the sticky feature. And so if we go to the plus sign in the upper right, you can add some stickies. And for instance, the typing sticky is no different from a text box. And one thing to note is anytime you create a text box, its default dimensions will be the dimensions of the last text box you created. So for instance, check this out. I'm going to make this text box have this shape, and I'm going to type something. And I'm done. Note that when I make my next text box, it has the exact same shape as the one before. So just something to keep in mind so you can be aware that, oh, I'm going to have to resize this, or, oh, it's already going to be a perfect size. I'm not too familiar with the stickies. You know, you might have this blank sticky, which is, once again, just like another text box. Oh, it's not even a text box. That's just a sticky on which you would draw with the pen or your hand. But that's another option, and I urge you or encourage you to explore it if you'd like.